perfection?
Is impossible. There is no perfect person on the earth. The only person that was ever perfect on this earth was Jesus Christ. So I think if you can truly accept that, it will take out a lot of striving in your everyday life. It's imperfect parenthood, it's imperfect marriage, it's imperfect friendship. You know, we live our lives as though no one's ever going to let us down. But the truth is, if we accept that we're all imperfect, then we are a lot kinder when people do let us down. We're a lot more forgiving because we're all imperfect.
Totally. And I think once we recognise that, we can just be honest. We can be honest with ourselves and honest with other people. Sometimes we set ourselves standards. We've got to be perfect. Well, it's impossible. We've all got really good traits. Some people are kind, some are gentle, some are more perceptive or intuitive. But we've also, with our great strengths, we've all got weaknesses. Some people got tempers. You know, nobody at this table. Some people are impatient. But, you know, when you recognise, actually, do you know what? I've got faults. You know, there are genuine things that are wrong with me. I can't be perfect. So therefore, it's recognising that other people aren't perfect either. And just allowing them to be who they are and accepting them for who they are.
Conflict
is normal. Everybody needs conflict. You have to be able to express when you disagree, and that is very healthy in every friendship and every relationship. Conflict is not the issue, it's how you conduct yourself in conflict. It's how you behave when you don't agree with people. So it's not okay to just cut people off, it's not okay to be passive aggressive, it's not okay to just lose your temper and start shouting. But if you accept that conflict is a normal part of life, then you've got to learn the tools as you mature and grow up of how to have healthy disagreements.
Yeah, I hate conflicts.
Yeah.
I hate it when we're in conflict or when we're in conflicts in friendships. But as we've said, you know, relationships are not perfect and they've always got to be moving forward.
True.
As we grow, our relationship develops, and sometimes there are issues, and if we don't confront that issue, if you don't challenge that issue, it will never change. And you're going to end up bitter, resentful, regretful. So you absolutely, 100% have to deal with conflict and challenge things.
Grace.
Grace is something that every relationship must have to survive. Your relationship or your friendships won't survive if you don't give grace to people when they fail or they make mistakes. And I think this is tied to conflict because, you know, over the years, Roy and I have been married 29 years, you have to understand you will disagree on things. In friendships, you will disagree on things. But learning how to handle one another with grace, learning how to accept people's difference of opinion, I think no relationship will survive without grace.
Totally.
None of them.
Yeah, I think, and this is like deeply theological, relationships with grace is like a jam sandwich. If there's no jam in it, it's like a jam sandwich without the jam. But a jam, if you've got jam in a jam sandwich, it gets everywhere. It gets in the bread, it gets on your fingers, it's absolutely everywhere. And that's what grace has got to be like. In every area of your relationship, there's got to be grace. There's got to be forgiveness. We've got to accept each other's weaknesses, just like God accepts our weaknesses.
True.
But He still loves us. And that's the beauty of grace. You know I'm not perfect, but you still love me. You know I'm working on my issues, but you still love me. I know you're not perfect. Well, you are perfect, actually. But, you know, in other contexts. But I accept people are not perfect, and I still love them anyway because I know they're on a journey. And that's how God treats us.
I think with conflict, it's important that that we put down really clear rules of engagement, that we put down very clear things. So however you're wired, whatever sort of personality you are, whichever sort of friendship you're in, you understand, okay, I need to express how I feel about things and I need to be able to say X, Y and Z, but I've understood my boundaries of what is acceptable and what is not acceptable.
Totally.
And equally not accepting that from somebody else. So I will never shout at somebody else and I will never accept somebody shouting at me in conflict. So I think putting down rules, if you like, or a biblical understanding of foundations and boundaries is good in any conflict situation of this is what we will do, but this is what we won't do.
Yeah. Final thoughts?
I think conflict sometimes is necessary, is always part of life, and I don't think you should ever write somebody off just because of conflict. I don't think any relationship should fail. I think you commit to resolving issues. We should be mature people that are able to see issues through, not just come to a point where we just part ways. That's not God's plan for our lives. So I think conflict is healthy because it raises issues that we need to talk about, but we have to be committed to one another to seeing conflict throughout
that's
the other
important.
side.
Yeah, I would say always communicate how you feel, regardless of the situation, in a gracious and a loving way. Don't walk away from the table not sharing how you feel.